Oh, I'm actually at the Black Lives Matter Parkway, or whatever they call it, that street in front of the White House that they changed the name to, the Black Lives Matter, and they wrote it in the sidewalk on the street there. See it? See how it's written there? Yeah. It was quite a tourist spot for a long time, where actually locals would come down too. It was pretty busy. Now it's a little tame. I guess we're all moving on to another problem or whatever. But it's chilly in Washington. I don't know what you got. Hi, Jay. I don't know what the weather you have. But anyway, what I want to talk about is the stimulus check. I don't know. They voted in the Senate, it didn't even pass the mini stimulus package. The House passed 3 trillion, and they said, well, they'll lower it to 2 trillion. The Senate passed one for $500 billion. Well, actually, it didn't even pass. So they're nowhere. And it looks like, from what I say, and I don't know, nobody really knows, everybody's guessing, that they may wait until after the election. That means the politicians think it's good for them not to pass anything or not to agree on something. Who the hell knows? But I think, see what's happening, there's still your next stimulus check could come from your state. You go Google now, COVID grant, and you'll see there's lots of new COVID grants. Now, how do you figure out if it's a new or an old COVID grant that is out of money? Is by going to the advanced search. So you got to do that advanced search and just look for the new ones. I've said this a bunch of times. Look at an old video on how to do this if you're not sure. But that's where, every day I Googled today COVID grants, and I have an alert, a COVID grant alert I do, and there's dozens every day popping up. There's a lot of old money. They say there's about $300 billion that they haven't spent yet from the old stimulus package that they voted on. That's one of the reasons the Democrats are dragging their feet. You haven't spent the other $300 billion. I'm not sure where the hell it is. I'm sure no one does. But what they're doing, the states, are parceling this out. You'll see programs right now. If you put COVID rent, and then put it, use the advanced search, so you only say like the ones that happened the last week or the last month, and you'll see there's dozens all over the country that are giving out more programs, more grant money under the old stimulus package. So that's why I say there's your next stimulus check is going to come from the state government, not from your, not waiting for Congress to act. Who the hell knows when they're going to get around to this stuff? And it's too bad they're messing around with this, but you and I have little to do about it except call your elected official, yell like hell out of them, and start looking for these other sources. Just and truthfully, did you see my video yesterday about not relying on Google? It just, there's a certain things that you could use Google for, but if you're not getting the help you need, then you can't do the Google thing. You gotta forget the Google thing, okay? Forget about the Google thing. Forget about the face, no problem. It's a song, boy, it's in my mind all the time for some reason. So forget about the Google thing, but you look for new Google stuff. And that's a set up an alert for these things. If you want a grant for business, they're still coming out with that. I saw a whole bunch today again, how many are available for grants for business, but it's local stuff, and it's not national, and you're waiting for the national to have it. Can't. You got to start changing your research habits. What how to get stuff out of the government or out of Google is it's not working. And if something doesn't work, you can't keep doing it. You got to stop doing it and use new things. And one is to get on the phone to people. And that's it. Find the people who do this stuff for free. Go to 211, find the people that are helping people with paying bills. Call every one of them. Every one of them. Get them on the phone and see, hey, what's coming on? Because this stuff maybe won't happen on the internet. Now, just think that Woodward book, if he just went to the internet to write that book. No, he went to the horse's mouth. And look at all the good, juicy stuff he got. Same way with you. You go to those elected officials that are worrying about people paying their bills and stuff like that, and ask them, hey, where should I be going? You got to ask them for help, because they know what's going to be in the internet next week. And then in 2 days after that, it's going to be gone. So you got to get ahead of that curve, and that's by using, phone. You can email people in the government. See, the government and nonprofit organizations, that's the people you have to call. Don't call for-profit people. They don't want to talk to you unless you're going to give them money. You don't have money. So it's silly to talk to people who want money and try to get them to help you. You ain't got none. So the people who will help you when you don't have money are nonprofit organizations and government offices. That's why we have them, to solve these kind of problems. And we got big ass problems in this country, right? So you have to call the people who are there to help you. And it's not people like me selling you something. So stay away from Google. After you've done Google, so many people, my heart hurts for them. The people who join Let's Go Help say they'll spend 10, 12, 20 hours Googling. That's going around in Google circles. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to squeeze anything out of a stone. All you're going to go is find other hucksters who figured out how to get money from you that you don't even have. Now, they're the smartest people on the internet. If people could get money from people that don't even have money. Now, the government could just print this shit, so you might as well go after them. And nonprofit organizations learn. And then also start learning about alternative ways to do things. The example I was giving yesterday was that people want to pay for training program. Okay, there are other ways. If you can't find a grant, you make a deal with the people doing the course, and you say, hey, if your course is so good and going to make me a lot of money, I'll share the money with you. That's how I make money on the internet. I share the money with other people. You think that if I advertise on your website, I'm going to make a lot of money? Good. I'll advertise and I'll give you half the money. If I give them $1 million, then I'm out $1 million. I say, I'll give you $2 million. You make me $4 million, you get half of it. And it's like that. Everybody's negotiable nowadays. So if you want to take a course or whatever, make a deal like that with them. There's other ways to do things instead of just believing in the sticker. It isn't. Everybody's very flexible nowadays, right? So there's other ways. And maybe it won't happen first. You call 10, 20 people, believe me, one of them's going to say yes. Because they get something out of it too. And that's why, but there's a lot of still help out there. You have to be creative. How are you going to, get income some way? If it's through the gig economy, go on Indeed.com and look for the gig economy apps that are right on there. You could do it. If you're a member of Let's Go Help, I'll send you a report that has, I have 200 gig economy jobs you could do at home. And it costs nothing. It's better than starting a business. If you're thinking about starting a business now, I wouldn't, unless you know where you're going to get customers, because that's what it's all about. And because it's going to take you forever to find a grant to start a business and do that. So maybe 6 months to a year before you get income. So that doesn't seem wise right now if you need income. What you want to do is do something like one of the gig economy things, and get income right away. And you're sure to get paid because they get money before you get money. They got the credit card. You're going to get paid. They get customers to give. You have to hustle on those websites and make sure you get a job. But that's it. You're going to have, if you're going to start a business from scratch and try to find money, man, that's tougher hustle. You're going to find then after you find the money, you're going to have to find customers. That's even a harder hustle. So that's why if you do something like gig economy and put your services there, and because they're bringing in the talent, but you have to hustle on the website. Okay, you have to apply to 100 things. That's what it is. It's all a numbers game in life. Yeah. Just because the one pretty girl says no doesn't mean you're not going to get a date. Maybe you won't get the prettiest girl, but you want a date. That's what you want, and that's what you need, for everything. So look to the city now and your county and your state for your next stimulus check, because they're giving them out today. Don't wait for Washington anymore. That's going to happen. What's going to happen? And call your senators and congressmen if you're pissed, because you are.